Hi, in today's video, we're going to discuss how to connect SQL Server 2005 to .NET. Let's begin. Okay, so before we begin with our discussion or topic, for some of you who has questions or having a problem with regards to locating the instance of their Microsoft SQL Server, okay, so let me show you. All right, SQL Server Management Studio. All right, so here it is. Okay, for some of you who has or who have a hard time trying to locate their instance or their server name, and they normally encounter an instance error. So, uh, what I want you guys to do is you can check this video out, okay, and try to see and watch how to solve that problem. Okay, so actually in my case, I never or I failed to have a lot of error connecting my SQL server to to its instance because uh, I know for a fact the whole specs and content of my computer. Okay, so I'm the one who format or I format my computer, and I know exactly what what's my computer name and the components inside of it. So uh, I never encountered serious errors. But if you do encounter some errors, and I know some of you did or some of you do, okay, you can check this video out. Okay, so and try to watch. It will solve your problems with regards to specifying the server name. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you get to install and find your server name without errors, all right, try to remember the password and the login name that you're using or you're going to use. Okay, I'm going to press connect. Okay, so I don't have any problems with it. Okay, this is your server name. Normally that's your computer name as well. Okay, so I want you guys to take a look at that, because it will definitely appear in our codes for this video. Okay, so also try to remember the database name we have here, student course. All right, so very important. So let's now open Microsoft Visual Studio. Okay, so new project. So I'm going to name this as our first or my first database. I'm going to use my first DBase. Okay, so press OK. So all the codes here, all the codes that we're going to discuss for today is written clearly in your module. So try to read your modules. Okay. All right. So in this project, we're not going to put anything in our form. All right. We're simply going to go make a connection from our SQL Server database to .NET. Okay. So I'm going to double click my form. I and I'm going to start typing the codes. Okay, so the first things first, I want you guys to type in the code on top of your form, public class form here. All right, so I'm going to type in imports. So there's the intelligence there, import space system selected dot data dot SQL client, right? So I was like talking to one of the students previously from Westbridge who graduated ICT, right? And he's now in Pamantasan, Kabuyaw, and he's like very thankful about this topic. So, guys, I want you guys to really pay attention, and it's very important. One of the important skills that you might have. All right. So, what I want is I want this program to simply inform me if I have successfully made a connection from my SQL server database uh, in .NET. Okay, so my first line is I'm going to declare, for example, dim SQL check as new SQL connection. All right, so what's happening here is I declared a variable here, SQL check, as a new SQL connection. All right, SQL connection. So since we already put this line of code here, uh, uh, .NET is already informed that this project has something to do with SQL. All right, because without this line, this won't work. Okay, they will be able to recognize this type of variable. Okay, now our purpose here is in this variable, the value of this will be the string that includes the components or variables for us to set connection uh, from SQL Server database to .NET. Okay, so now I'm going to place open close parenthesis and then double quote. Okay, so data source, okay, is equals to data source is your uh what do you call that, server name. Okay, all right, so that will be your server name. So I told you earlier, this is your uh data source. Okay, so if you can rename, like for example, I'm going to show you system, or what do you call that, system. Okay, so if you want your coding to be much more easier, you can rename your computer to make it shorter, and then you just have to restart the computer to make those changes take effect. Okay, so let's now proceed. Data source is equals to your PC name or your server name. All right, and then uh, initial initial catalog. Okay, your initial catalog, that will be your database name, student course. Okay, so that is your database name, student course, right here, and then uh, semicolon again, semicolon, username or user ID is equals to SA, and last semicolon, the password is equals to 1234. All right, so let's check it out. Okay, so let me remove the equal sign. So it should be like red, written in red. All right, so there you go. So SQL connection, you have data source, that's your computer or server name. This is your database name taken from your uh, SQL connection or your server, and then the user ID is SA and password. This line should be enough to connect or to set a connection. All right, from SQL to .NET, and then what we want now is we want to make the connection open. All right, so since we're going to use this program for database, so we need to make that connection open, and then I'm going to use try. Okay, try catch an exception. This is like an error trapping. All right, it's like an if condition, right? But more like developed or written there for the purpose of trapping errors. Okay, so try if SQL check dot state, right, is equals to connection state dot open Then message box. So what I want from this project is just to inform me whether you know we made a connection. All right. So we're going to connection successful. All right. All right. And if now try, meaning say you're going to try this one. Okay, this condition. If it's successful, is the program will display this message. All right. But if not, right, message box, try again. Okay. So let's try the program F5. Okay. So this is what we're after for. What we want to see is our connection is successful. Okay. So every time we run the program, this is what we're trying. This is what we are hoping to see. You know, to make us sure to make sure that the connection is successful. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.